welcome back, everybody. Time again for Living Hope, a weekly journey designed to provide hope, inspiration, and education for those living with pancreatic cancer, sharing the real-life stories of those really affected by this deadly disease and how they deal with it on a daily basis. With our host, she's been on this journey for a while here, continues to lead others as well, us included. Welcome, Roberta Luna.
Thank you, Paul. It's a pleasure to be back, and we're in the first week of November, and it feels like winter out there. I'm kind of happy to see the little coolness. I'm enjoying this. Today, I'm thrilled to have Jenny Isaacson back with us. She's the Vice President of Stewardship and Partnership at the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network, affectionately known as PanCan. Thank you, Jenny, for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me back. It is literally 1 year ago that I was sat across from you, and I'm really pleased to be back. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate it, and I know it's quite a drive for you, so I appreciate you making that drive and coming in. Today is the first week of November, so it's Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. And we're going to talk a lot about that and about the World Pancreatic Cancer Coalition. I hope I got that right. It's a mouthful there. So before we get started, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do at PanCan?
Sure, absolutely. So I've been at PanCan now for 11 years, just over actually, I know. And I've worn many hats. I've had the opportunity to be in many areas, in fundraising, in marketing, in the community engagement department. And now I'm working on stewardship, so really working to recognize our amazing, wonderful supporters. And then wearing my partnership hat, I have been serving as the project lead for the World Pancreatic Cancer Coalition. Yes, you did say it right. And we can call it the coalition. So I've been doing that for about 5 years. And I also get the privilege and the pleasure of working with PanCan's National Survivor Council. And of course, you have been on the Survivor Council and now are part of the alumni group. So it's wonderful to be able to do that as well.
Yeah, and thank you. I was very honored to have that group started and be on the first part of it, at least anyway. So thank you, and thank you for all that you did for that. Exactly what is the Pancreatic Cancer Coalition?
Sure. So the coalition it's a group of patient advocacy organizations, non-profit groups that are focused in pancreatic cancer around the world. It was started back in 2013 when a few leaders from this community got together and said, we should be collaborating, we should be doing more because together we're stronger. Mm-hmm. And so this group was formed, this coalition was formed, and immediately started to do global awareness through a global day of awareness that is coming up. It's actually falls always on the third Thursday of November. So this year it's November 17th, which is World Pancreatic Cancer Day. And so the coalition has just gone from strength to strength. When it started, there were about 40 different groups. We're now over 100 patient advocacy organizations from 38 countries on 6 continents. And these are groups that range in size. There are some smaller groups, sort of mom and pop family foundations that have started, 2 larger groups like PanCan, the organization that I work for. But really through global collaboration, we are stronger together. Together we can raise more awareness, again coming up with World Pancreatic Cancer Day, and then we can strengthen the individual efforts of each organization. Because if there are smaller groups and they're starting a program or they need some information about, how do you do this fundraising or how can I maximize volunteering, or they can turn to their peers in this coalition and not feel so alone. And I think that's really where the beauty is of the coalition. It's really the opportunity to share resources, to network, to collaboration, because we're stronger together.
Yeah, and I think it's been proven. I think PanCan has always been a very good founder of this, because I remember in the early days, just even with the scientific world, Julie Fleischman, the CEO and president of PanCan, always said, we're not going to get anywhere unless we share information. And to see that growth has been awesome. And so I think PanCan's been a big backer of that from the very beginning. Yeah. You said it makes up mostly it's nonprofits that are involved?
Yeah.
Okay, and then how do you guys get together and talk about this? Do you do like monthly meetings? Do you have a yearly get-together? How does this work?
Great question. So we have our Global Day of Awareness, and again, that's coming up, and what we do for that is there's a committee that puts together a campaign, and so the campaign is this year, again, it's about time. and it focuses on the importance of time. It's time to know the symptoms of the disease. It's time to know the risk factors. It's time to share your story. It's time for action. And we provide social media assets, guides, posters, downloadable things that every member organization can just take and run with. They can translate them into their own native languages. And so that's a really great way that we're collaborating and, again, making it really easy for everyone to participate. And then annually, we have been getting together through a meeting. Of course, because of COVID, that was virtual for the last couple of years. But again, an opportunity for us to come together and spend time. You know, we have wonderful discussions, just networking and learning from each other, but we also have great sessions like a great science panel where we'll invite a researcher and a clinician to come and talk about the latest in science. You know, we'll unveil our campaign. Again, we want to make it as easy as possible for everyone to participate. And again, it goes back to not feeling so alone and being able to advance progress together.
Yeah, and that is the one thing when you get that diagnosis of pancreatic cancer, even as a caregiver, you feel very much alone.
Yeah.
Now, I just saw that the coalition did put out a great little video.
Yes.
Kind of explaining a little bit. It's about time. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I would love to. Yes. So the theme of this year's campaign, as I mentioned, is It's About Time. And it really is to emphasize how from early detection all the way through someone's journey with this disease, time is so important. Time to have with your family and your loved ones. And this video, which is a 2-minute animated video, emphasizes time, and the focus is on knowing the symptoms and the risks of the disease. People can go to World Pancreatic Cancer Coalition.org. And as you mentioned, we just posted the video, and all the assets now are up there for the day campaign, and they can download them. And if people want to translate them, they're there in Adobe Illustrator, so they can take the raw files and customize them. It's just really about spreading the awareness. And I would really recommend that everyone watch that video and share it as broadly as possible. It is available in 12 different languages on the website. And again, it's the cornerstone of this year's campaign. It's definitely the asset. If there was only one asset that you'd be sharing, I would say post that video. It's eye-catching. It's got some quite dramatic music. We wanted to increase the feeling of drama around the campaign this year, the sense of urgency, but without being alarmist, right? We don't want it to be, to be too scary or anything, but it's definitely powerful, and that's what we intended.
Yeah, it was very much, and we will be putting it on Living Hope's website as well as Living Hope's Facebook, so we'll do that later, probably over the weekend.
And maybe, and I don't know if you'd indulge me in this, I actually just brought a quick, one of the things that we also talk about in the campaign is the importance of sharing your story. And we have stories from across the globe, all across Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Africa, you name it. The stories have been coming in. And I wanted just to quickly share this story from Jenny in Israel, who writes about Claire, her mum, who died from pancreatic cancer 3 years ago. And she wrote, she was suffering from stomachache for a long time. She also lost weight and was really weak. Her doctor said that everything is okay, and she's just panicked. One night, she just couldn't stand the pain. We took her to the hospital, and the rest is history. Who would ever say that pancreatic cancer was a gift? But I do, ever since I found out that my mom had pancreatic cancer. Together, we learned about the value of each and every moment of time. 11 months since that night when our life changed until the day we said goodbye. 47 weeks spent together, crying, laughing, talking, and taking care of each other. 330 days to deepen a super special mother-daughter relationship that changed my life, my perspective, my everything. Today, 3 years after she passed away, it's so important for me to scream to the world that it's about time. It's about spending more time with our loved ones. It's about time to appreciate what we have. It's about time to share our feelings. It's about time to be better people. It's about time to help others. It's about time to care of ourselves. And maybe most importantly, it's about time to understand that while I won't get my mum back, I know more than ever that I had the best mum in the world. And I read this just because we would encourage people to go onto the website also and share their story. They'll live in perpetuity on the website, and I think they're just, more than anything, they cut through. They just are the most powerful ways to communicate.
It is, and I think you got me teary here. So.
Oh, no, sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's a very beautiful story, and I can really relate to it, because that's one thing. I know people think I'm crazy sometimes when I say that pancreatic cancer was the best thing that happened to me personally.
Yeah.
Just because of the wonderful people that it has brought into myself, like yourself, PanCan, just everybody, my Purple family. But it did. It changed an outlook. It changed the way I looked at things. And yes, I would have changed the outcome for my family, but I'm not able to do that. So I have to do whatever I can, and having the opportunity to do things like this and hear that story, like I said, it really does get to me, because I really get it, because I lost my mother to pancreatic cancer as well, and other family members. But it's a very potent story, and I really urge people to go on, share your story, because we need to hear this. We need to understand. Yes, statistics are out there, but we're not statistics. We're people. We're people that have lost somebody, that have loved somebody, and it really is about time that we make these changes and bring something good out of these people that we've lost. I don't ever want anybody's name just to be in vain and forgotten and what they've gone through. So thank you for sharing that story, and I'm still trying to recover from it. But so if you could talk a little bit more and give me a minute
sure.
here.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that going back to, you asked about the coalition, pancreatic cancer is the deadliest major cancer, not just in the US, but across the world. And I think that that's why it's important for us to pool our resources and come together, not just here, but across the world. And I think you talked earlier about collaboration, and Julie Fleshman, the president and CEO of PanCan. Julie is also the chair of the coalition. She was definitely one of the leaders who said very early on, this is important, and there's value in this. And PanCan has led it. She has led the coalition, and we work to get amazing sponsors to fund the coalition. And it's really rewarding to see how it's grown under her vision, and how she continues to make collaboration, as you say, across PanCan also a priority. Our research community, we call it our community for progress, has grown amazingly. I'm thrilled that this November, our November awareness campaign is focused on research, research for all of us, because we can all benefit from it. And I know I'm waffling a little bit here, but the research community, I think since PanCan started, it's been incredible to see how that has grown. It used to be just a handful of researchers that you could sort of count on the fingers of one hand. And now they couldn't even fit in a stadium. There's such a robust pancreatic cancer research community, and that gives me such excitement and optimism that changes are coming. But it's all because finally there is resources available to this community. I mean, science follows money. And so the fact that PanCan has been able to invest cumulatively $174 million in research, thanks to amazing supporters, and we've been able to increase the federal resources available to this community, has meant that more scientists have come into the field. And so now as you look across it and you see all the work that's being done in so many areas, you just know that breakthroughs are going to happen. And of course, it doesn't happen quick enough, but it's exciting to see all this progress.
It is, and I can relate, because I remember the first time that I did go to, I can't remember if it was a colt or training session or advocacy, to be honest with you, but there were a handful, like you said, of researchers that were on the stage. And then the last time we were together personally, which I think was in 2019, I mean, they just kept coming off the stage, and people were applauding and standing up, because to see that many, I don't even know how many there were, but it was really amazing to see. It really was.
And that was only a fraction of them. One of the things I always point to is, and wearing my PanCan hat now, is that, again, through our amazing donors, we've been able to award 234 research grants to 213 scientists at 79 institutions. And again, looking back, to be able to qualify for a PanCan research grant, you have to be doing extremely good science. The work needs to be of a very, very high level to be able to get one of them, because they're highly competitive. And the fact that there are now 79 institutions that have pancreatic cancer programs of that level to be able to qualify for a PanCan research grant just means that there is such incredible work and such great research communities now happening all across the country. So,
is there a group, or how do you make that decision to give that grant?
Yeah, it's all done on a competitive peer review process, which means that we have a committee that comes together and looks at all of the applications that come in, and then they score them according to a certain, chart, and they look at all the different criteria, and then the ones that rise to the top are the ones that then get the grant. And it really is the most meritorious science that gets rewarded with a PanCan grant. And I think one of the things that always killed me a little bit is there's always more meritorious science that we could fund if we had more funding. So again, it always comes back to being able to raise more money to be able to do more of our mission.
Yeah, and it's really hard. It's hard to raise money. It's hard to ask people for money, but it's really important. And it took me a really long time, a little slow, I guess, to really realize that we need this money to have more survivors to get the research done. So it is very important. And they can go to the website, pancan.org, and make a donation.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. Yeah, I mean, we are privately funded. We don't take any government funding, even though we advocate for increased federal resources for the community, but PanCan doesn't take any government funding. But yeah, we reset the clock every year. Our budget starts back at zero, and we have to raise the millions that we need every year to advance our comprehensive mission, whether that's investing in our research, our clinical initiatives, looking at our amazing call center, which I know you know about, patient services, and making sure that that's available to anyone who gets this diagnosis. Our advocacy efforts, going to DC and advocating for those increased funding. And of course, our amazing community engagement, where across the country, wonderful volunteers are pushing on all of our priorities, raising awareness, raising money, generating media attention. I mean, it's just it's an amazing family, and I'm just privileged to be a part of it.
It really is, and a lot of us refer to it as our purple family. So because of course purple is our pancreatic cancer awareness color, so we always do that. I had somebody just wanted to know, how did the idea of the coalition come about? Were you guys all sitting around having coffee and somebody mentioned, or how exactly did it get started?
That's a great question. So going back to 2013, as I mentioned, Julie Fleshman was actually going in and out of Europe quite a lot at that time, and she had the opportunity to meet with a few leaders, and they got together and discussed how can we collaborate, because we are stronger together. And so out of that came the first Global Day of Awareness in 2014. And then because that was successful, in May of 2016, the coalition was formally launched, along with, the website and a logo and the mission statement and all the stuff. And it launched with an annual meeting, and there were about 50 organizations that were there at the time. And again, as I said, we've grown now, almost double that size today. But it started just, again, because Julie realized we're stronger together. We need to pool our resources.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty much been proven. And I guess didn't realize, I guess when you think about pancreatic cancer, you only think about us here locally in the States. You don't think about it being in Japan and other places, trying to find that correlation of what is it. So it's great to see so many involved and everything that's out there. But we have November 17th coming up, which is Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Day.
Correct.
And so what is PanCan doing on that day?
PanCan is hosting a free virtual event that is going to be focused on the impact of research on different people. We're going to have an amazing surgeon oncologist there. We're going to have a caregiver, a patient services case manager, and they're going to tell inspirational stories about the impact of research. I think it will be a wonderful event for people to listen into. People can go to pancan.org/WPCD2022 to register. And if they just want to get involved with the campaign, this is a part of our November awareness campaign, just go to pancan.org/awareness. And
they can sign up for the webinar there?
They can sign up for the webinar there. They can get involved. They can make a donation. Yes.
Okay.
It's all there.
The webinar starts at 11 a.m. Pacific time.
On November 17th, correct.
So,
yes.
yeah, and like I said, I did check it out real quick. And if you don't remember all the stuff to put in there, you can just do pancan.org. And I think it came up on the front page.
You can. It will.
Yes. So other ways that we can bring awareness to pancreatic cancer, not just on that particular day, but maybe through the whole month or maybe every day. What are some great ways to bring awareness?
I think we're doing it right now. We're wearing purple. You can always wear purple, and people ask about it. I wear my PanCan pin, and that's always a conversation starter. And I think, if people want to get involved, whether they've got 10 minutes to give or 10 hours to give, go to pancan.org and go to ways to get involved on our website. Find your local affiliate, volunteer. Go to some of our events. Sign up for Purple Stride, which is our amazing one big day walk that happens across the nation. It's happening, I should know the date, April 29th next year. Sign up and get involved that way. We need everyone. This disease doesn't discriminate. I mean, when I started at PanCan, someone said to me, who do you know? And at the time, I didn't know that I knew anyone. You can't say that now. And everyone at some point will be affected by this disease. I mean, it's the third leading cause of cancer death in this country. It's going to be the second leading cause by about 2030. Unfortunately, the incidents are on the rise. The 5-year survival rate is still only 11%. We need to change that, and that means we need as many people involved as possible.
We do, and it's about time. It's about time to make these changes, and I want to thank you for coming here again today and bringing all this information. It's really great. And there was something I saw on the website that I really loved. Yeah. It truly takes a village to support patients with pancreatic cancer, and I think I think PanCan has been a great support and village for me, and I really appreciate everything that you've done. Mm-hmm. And again, thank you. And as we dedicate each episode at the end, as long as you speak my name, I shall live forever. Today's episode is dedicated to Sandra Mack. Would you like to say a few words about that?
Yes, Sandra Mack, a 10-year survivor of pancreatic cancer who sadly lost her fight in September, so just a short month and a bit ago. Sandra was an amazing, amazing advocate for PanCan and for the community. I had the pleasure of working with her on the Survivor Council. Mm-hmm. But more than that, she was very active in Columbus, Ohio with the affiliate. She was the outreach chair. She came to D.C. and told her story to her local elected officials. She was the face of Purple Stride on our T-shirts in 2017. She was amazing, and I miss my conversations with her, and I just send my deepest condolences to her family.
Yeah, she was very amazing, and I will miss her the next time we get together for Advocacy Day. So thank you again, Jenny, for being here. And Sandra Mack, you shall live forever in our thoughts and prayers.
Well, there you have it. Another great reason to tune in each and every week to Living Hope, a weekly journey designed to provide inspiration, hope, and education for those living with pancreatic cancer, sharing the real-life stories of those really affected and how they deal with it on a daily basis. And if you have a story you'd like to share, by all means, reach out to Roberta or us here at the station, OC Talk Radio. And if you need immediate help, as we always say, it's just a phone call away. It starts with patient services at 877-2-PANCAN. That's 877-2-PANCAN for the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network. For the OC Talk Radio Network, I'm Paul Roberts, thanking you for joining us, hoping that you'll put purple in your wardrobe lineup this week, and hope you'll come back and share this journey with us and share the story with others too. Thanks.